We're back with Amoda. So why don't you talk about the keys and how people can really bring those things into their lives, and how, you know, the momentum can really build for people to have more and more of that experience.
Okay, so if we take the first key, which is presence, the way that I like to describe it is that it's the ability to penetrate this moment deeply. So it has this quality of depth, and it really helps to have this visual image of penetration, of depth. So it's a masculine quality. So it's the ability to be rooted in the now. It's the ability to be anchored in the moment. And that means that there are no storylines. There are no judgments. There is simply the experience of the unfoldment of this moment as it is. So it brings us into a place of clear seeing. And clear seeing is the truth of the moment. It is feeling this moment without labeling this moment. It is seeing this moment without judging this moment. And openness is the other side of the coin, so they actually end up in the same place. And openness is a feminine quality, so it's receptive. So it's like a bowl. It's the bowl of acceptance. So it's where we say yes to life. It's where we don't fight how this moment is unfolding within our own experience, but we simply allow it, because how could it be other than what it is? So it's a real graciousness and feminine receptivity. And in that bowl, we again are allowing all experiences. We are not saying this one's right or this one's wrong or this one's good or this one's bad. We may not like it, but we don't have to identify with the liking or the not liking. The feminine openness is a quality of the heart, of the open heart. The masculine quality of presence is a quality of awareness. And when we apply these two qualities, if you like, to every experience that is happening to us, without blame, without shame, without judgment, then we awaken within us the experience of our own at-oneness. We realign our inner power with the power of the universe. So instead of either holding on to life, trying to squeeze as much juice out of it, you know, lest it slip from our fingers before we kind of leave this earthly body. So we're kind of holding on tight, saying, I want this, I want that, I want more of this, it's got to be fun, it's got to be good. Or the opposite, where we push life away because we don't like what it's offering us. We're resisting it, going, no, this shouldn't be happening. Why is this happening to me? Oh, God shouldn't have let this happen. I'm a good person, bad things shouldn't happen to me. So we're pushing it away. Instead of doing either of those things, where we end up becoming victims, we end up disassociating ourselves or unaligning ourselves with the true power of the universe. And so we become victims, we become small. We realign our true inner power, we realign our I amness, our essential nature, with the power of the universe. So we become one with the Creator, we become one with the unfoldment of this moment as it is happening in our lives. And in that there is a reawakening of our true power, because we move out of victimhood into realizing or remembering that we are conscious co-creators. We start co-creating with God, with the grand, omnipresent designer. Some people are not happy with the word God, so you can call it whatever you like, but the force of creation, the power of creation. And in this realignment, we realize and we remember that we have the power to choose how we respond. We have the power to choose how we think. We have the power to choose how we feel. We have the power to choose what we say and what we do, because we are ultimately infinite spiritual beings with the power to choose our reality. So it doesn't matter what happens to us. We're not subject, we're no longer subject to the ever-changingness of life, because life will always ebb and flow. Life will always bring us good things and bad things, or however we like to label them. Life will always bring us challenges and difficult situations, and the more we open, the greater the suffering can be. But how we respond to that is the crucial factor. We can either respond as a victim or react as a victim from our smallness, because we feel that we are not in our power to choose how we respond to that, or we can choose to respond from our greatness. And in that, we become at one with life. We become a lover of what is. We love life. We love ourselves. We are not beating up on ourselves because life doesn't bring us what we think we want. And that's the greatest power of all, because our only power, our only true power, is the power to make the shift from our heads to our hearts. And it's what I call a total spiritual revolution. It's a turning around and turning within of consciousness. It's a shift from the myopic view of the ego, which is always concerned with me and mine, to the 360-degree view that we can gain when we rest in the clarity and the openness of an unobstructed heart. And this total spiritual revolution is not only the key to our personal liberation, but it's also the key to humanity's transformation. Because when each of us takes full responsibility for making that shift, that inner shift in consciousness, then true change can happen in the world. Real everlasting change can happen in the world, because all change stems from the inner transformation. And so it's a shift from looking outside of ourselves, trying to fix what we think is wrong, to illuminating the darkness from within with the brightness of our own love, with the brightness of our own open heart.
Amen. That's beautiful, really. Yeah, it's beautifully, I think I said at the opening, we use words, and yet the experience is beyond words. Whatever you think you are, you're more, and those kind of things. But the way you described it was really beautiful and really poetic. So I'm sure people will, be drawn to that. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And when each of us makes that shift, it's our responsibility to make that shift. Then we raise our own frequency, we raise our own consciousness, but we also start to raise the frequency of mass consciousness. So then the whole planet's frequency changes, and that's how we create real change.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot, because we're only talking about energy. So you talk about a quantum energy, and if everybody's energy is coming out that way, then all of a sudden the Berlin Wall falls. And was it your talk? Was it the bridging show one night? It doesn't matter. But energetically, we're at the 83rd monkey, and at that point, new paradigms are formed, and and more people are right there with it. Just things start to open up, and other things start to fall apart for the good of that raising of consciousness.
Absolutely, and there's a new frequency coming into humanity now, which is allowing this embodiment of this shift in consciousness to happen more rapidly. And this new frequency, which is the frequency of oneness, is the bringing together of spirituality and practicality, and the bringing together.
And bridging heaven and earth.
Absolutely.
Oh my God!
Absolutely.
What a great name! It's
bringing the
and we're on the
divine
bridge
down to
now,
earth.
and the new paradigm.
It's recognizing the unity within the diversity. It's recognizing that every relationship that we have is the key to our transformation. So
every breath we have, every
breath, every moment. So rather than looking for God outside of ourselves, the title of my book is How to Find God in Everything. Well, actually, that's a little bit of a play on words, because there is no how to. It's not like we go out looking for God, and it's very much about becoming God, or realizing that we already are God. And that realization comes when we heal the separation that we experience in our relationships. And when I say relationships, not just man and woman,
Right.
but every single aspect of life, because we're in relationship to life all the time, through
Right.
our breath, through our body, through everything, through our thoughts, our feelings. And so it's the healing of that split. It's the healing of the rift between the masculine and feminine, not only in our heart, but in the world, between our intellect and our intuition, between the battle of the sexes, between science and mysticism, between religion and nature, between business and philanthropy. Between money and divine mission. These things have traditionally been very separate. And now there's this new frequency that is
we see it as
bringing these
coming
things
into a
together.
oneness.
Yeah.